Hey my Mofies and Opii, this is Metrono, Ivernan. Welcome back to another episode of the commentary series where today I'm going to be talking about the gaming industry. Like, that's a lot of fun. The reason why I'm making this video is to explain some big game corporations argumentatively. Also, I'm going to be studying for the ACT soon, so I thought I should make a video to keep you guys entertained while I'm gone. For the week, I'm going to be studying for a practice exam to see how well I would do on the ACT and hopefully do better on the actual exam. This is the second practice exam that I have taken so far. I'm taking the ACT very seriously because it will help me get into the college I want and get a good degree. Of course, there is the SAT, but I ain't going to be studying for that until next year. All of that aside, I'm pretty sure most of you have a favorite game corporation for you to play video games, whether it is Rockstar, Blizzard, Ubisoft, and because I am nice enough, let's say EA. What inspired me to make this video was a live poll that went on Facebook asking the question, which game corporation do you think is the best? There were 4 different options to choose from: Ubisoft, Rockstar, EA Sports, and Blizzard. Now, I couldn't find the exact poll because it was quite some time ago and I couldn't find it in the feed, but by the time that the live stream had ended, the results were Rockstar being first, Ubisoft being second, Blizzard being third, and of course EA Sports being last. Now, I know I'm going to be getting quite some hate from this, but if I were to vote for any of the 4 companies that were mentioned in that poll, I wouldn't vote for any of them. Now, I'm going to be explaining why I wouldn't vote for any of these gaming companies, but I'll try to look at this from both perspectives so that way I am not too biased about this. What is your favorite game company? Type down in the comments section below. It could be any game company. Be sure to also name some of the games that you enjoy playing from them as well. And if you want to be part of the early notification squad, be sure you are subscribed and click the bell icon and check the box to be notified when I upload a video, because I only read comments for the first 1 to 3 hours when a video is uploaded. Also, be sure to follow me on my Twitter at MetronoI for some cool updates that I will be tweeting. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I'm going to discuss each company top to bottom in the poll, so the first game company that I'm going to be talking about is Ubisoft. From now on, I'm going to pronounce it Ubisoft because Ubisoft fans freak the out when I pronounce it Ubisoft, so I'm doing this so that way you don't scream at me. Anyways, out of all the options that are presented in the poll, Ubisoft is the company that is the best out of them all, but it still sucks. Now I see some triggered Ubisoft fans typing in the comments for the second time about how much I suck. That's because the first time was because I pronounced Ubisoft incorrectly. But all off to a more serious note, I really do think that Ubisoft is the company that sucks the least out of all the options provided. That's because I think Ubisoft creates some of the most unique games, such as Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, you get the point. Ubisoft's slight variety of games is what makes them suck the least, because they at least try to execute fresh, new ideas. Out of all the characteristics of what makes a game company great, variety is one of the most important characteristics to me. Of course, game quality is also really important, but I'd rather play a huge variety of suckish games than play one game with great quality. Now, some of you would disagree with me and say that the game quality is more important, but everybody seeks different characteristics in a video game. Game variety on Ubisoft, to be honest, is both good and bad. While Ubisoft does release new games with unique storylines, at the same time they still release the same game year after year. Of course, this is a way so they can milk profit off of those successful games they had in the past. But again, they still try to release new concepts, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. Another thing that I don't like about Ubisoft is their DLCs. I'm not joking. While Ubisoft is slowly resolving this issue, I hate it when I have to buy tons of DLCs in order to enjoy the game at its fullest. Like, I just paid $50 to $60 for a game. Why can't I get all the content for that price? Also, glitches are an issue with some Ubisoft games, but how annoying it is depends on the glitch itself. Every big game is going to have some glitches, so it's not a huge deal for me. I find Ubisoft to suck the least out of them all, but there are still things that Ubisoft needs to work on before it gets my seal of approval. Wow, that was a horrible joke, okay. The next game company on the list is Rockstar Games Incorporated. Now, don't get me wrong, Rockstar makes some really good games, such as Red Dead Redemption and almost the entire Grand Theft Auto series. The reason why I said almost is because while Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is one of my favorite games, Grand Theft Auto 5 has something that makes me not like it so much. I give credit to Rockstar for making such an exhilarating storyline, but Grand Theft Auto Online is something that I really despise. It is unarguable that the biggest reason why many people still play Grand Theft Auto 5 is because of Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, the inspiration for Grand Theft Auto Online is great, or to say in other words, only great on paper. The execution for Grand Theft Auto Online, though, is god-awful. It took Rockstar a long time to implement heists into Grand Theft Auto Online, but that is not a huge concern for me compared to the other reasons that I have. One of the most significant things that makes GTA Online so bad is the community. It gets really annoying when people just troll everyone by killing them consistently with their fancy weapons, be annoying in the voice chat rooms, which isn't a huge problem for me, actually, and the fact that it's almost made of children. Now, of course, every game that is rated 18 or up is going to have children in it, but it gets real annoying when they don't know how to play maturely. Whether this means being able to withstand the mature content or being able to play maturely. Now, personally, I don't care if you are younger than 18, but if you can't play like you are 18, then I suggest you stop playing. A majority of the GTA Online community cannot do what I just said, so you get things like this.
God! You guys are so fucking stupid!
You gonna pull out a minigun. Wow, you gonna pull out a minigun. Wow, dude, you gonna pull out a minigun. You gonna pull out a minigun.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fucker! Piece of fucking trash!
Nope! You're not stopping me from here, bitch! Ah!
Uh-oh, who's got the buzzard?
Not you.
I'm done, bye.
What the hell? I shot you a bunch of times! Okay, now I know you're using hacks, and guess what? You get to be reported, you piece of shit.
See, I have no weapon now. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me.
Oh, what did you even say?
No one likes you, Bombo. No one will ever like you. You are a piece of shit gamer that does not know how to let other people have fun.
Yes, I will admit that I have done shit like this before, but I always try to not make the same mistakes again. Because if you make the same mistakes over and over, you're basically a Probably the most significant thing that ruins GTA Online is the fact that it has a freemium / pay-to-win approach towards it. For example, if you want to get a Zentorno, you can either play a crap load of jobs for hours, or you can give your money to Rockstar in the form of shark cards in order to buy the damn thing. I'm proud to say that I have been able to afford a Zentorno without the need to buy shark cards when I was still playing on the Xbox 360. But of course, almost nobody plays on the Xbox 360 anymore, so technically it was all for nothing. Well, of course, I could buy the PC version of Grand Theft Auto or the Xbox One version and achieve it again, but why bother? If I plan on doing Grand Theft Auto 5 on this channel, it would be the actual single-player version instead of online.
But Metrono, you don't have to play the online mode if you don't want to, so why are you complaining?
Like I said before, most people are still playing Grand Theft Auto Auto 5 because of Grand Theft Auto Online. I will also admit that mods are probably another reason why, but personally, I think Grand Theft Auto Online just gets more credit than it deserves based on the fact that Rockstar actually won the poll, so I actually consider it the second worst game company out of the 4. Rockstar, I hope you step your game up on Grand Theft Auto 6, not just on the storyline, but also the online mode as well. Oh boy, this one is going to be fun. Electronic Arts. However, I'm going to be talking about EA Sports, not the entire company. Although, to sum it up in a few words, it's like Ubisoft, except their problems are worse and they don't try to fix them. But f***ing EA Sports, man. I think many of you will agree that EA Sports is, without a doubt, the worst gaming corporation ever. Obviously, it got the least amount of votes in the poll, so it's safe to say that a lot of people hate EA Sports. For those who think otherwise or are confused, let me explain it to you. Let's start it off with something small. You are playing a virtual sport. Seriously, if you like to play sports so much on the console or computer, maybe you will like playing sports so much in real life. But of course, who would want to do that? That takes too much effort. But hey, the controls for sports are so much better in real life than on the game. And if you have a hard time doing this in real life, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. How about you actually practice and or exercise? Not only will it make it more fun, but unlike virtual sports, it's actually good for you. But again, that's something small. I don't really find it all that significant. But now let's get into the big bucks here, and I'm saying that for a reason. Because EA Sports is basically pay to win. The least fun approach to getting good at a game. FIFA is a really good example, because for the past couple of years, EA Sports has basically f***ed up the entire series by making it nearly impossible to get a good team without buying a ton of microtransactions. In the latest FIFA, even if you buy a couple of microtransactions that give a decent amount of FIFA points, it still is very hard to get a good player, so you have to spend hundreds in order to finally get a good player. Along with EA Sports basically adding the dumbest features such as price ranges, which basically makes Ultimate Team unbearable to play. But the list goes outside of FIFA, another good example being NHL. Of course, NHL is not as popular as FIFA when it comes to EA Sports, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with that one. If that seriously doesn't frustrate you, then I don't know what will. EA Sports has become the ultimate milkman, where they milk their quote-unquote games to the very last drop and then hide away most of that milk, jack up the price, and get extra profit. I seriously have no other way to describe EA Sports. Alright, now I know I kind of had a huge rant for EA Sports, but now it's time to focus on something that is not as disappointing. Blizzard. Of course, Blizzard's most famous game of all time is World of Warcraft, which basically defined the genre of massively multiplayer online role-playing games. Say that 5 times fast. However, they don't suck because of World of Warcraft, but because of their most recent hit game, Overwatch. Now, I understand I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, so I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I possibly can, while still being able to get my point across. First, I'm going to be talking about what I like about Overwatch, so that way people don't get so butthurt over this. One of the biggest things that I like about Overwatch is how unique it is. The characters featured in this game are great, because there are lots lots of women who are featured in the game. The reason why I say that is because the women in this game are not sexually objectified to have big boobs or a huge ass. It's like the game is saying that not everybody is a prostitute, as nobody can be perfect. Most popular games never do this, so props to Overwatch for doing so. Unless, of course, you are a radical feminist, which of course you will find it distasteful somehow. I also like how some of the characters have some power-ups that are not seen before in a shooter, and we're all thinking of Tracer here. Also, the maps cling on to the intended aesthetic pretty well and have some great design. Alright, so there are a lot of good things about the game, right? While the game is unique when it comes to details such as characters and maps, the entire concept of what Overwatch is and what to play is nothing new. The game mode's objectives and some features are the same as every other shooter. Basically, Overwatch takes the format of every other shooter and does nothing to make the overall concept unique, like taking a boring house and covering it entirely with shiny diamonds. It looks pretty, but it's still the same old boring house. That's why I list it second place of all the companies in the poll. If Overwatch stops focusing entirely on covering the house with more pretty diamonds and working on improving the infrastructure of the house to make it more unique, then it would probably take my vote for the best gaming company. I see missing potential for Blizzard's games, but if they work to fill in that missing potential, then they will earn my respect. So I talked about why I don't like any of these companies that are in this live poll. But many of you are probably asking, what is a gaming company that I do like? Well, to be honest, the games that I love are not all made by one company, but a variety of companies. That's because a lot of big game corporations don't have too much variety. They stick to one genre. This is why I don't like to play games that are usually mainstream, because it's a very narrow selection. First-person shooters perfectly describe this. It's as if many gamers who play these games refuse to try something else. Whenever a fresh, new idea comes along in the market, most of these people shut it out and don't even give it a try. Indie games are the best example. While some indie games have become successful, there are still lots of indie games that are shut out by gamers because it's something that is different. One of the reasons why I do Flash Game of the Week is because it allows me to search for something new, to see what the gaming market has to offer. While there are some games that are just flat out weird, there are games that I have played before that are really fun to play. One of the games that I have really enjoyed is Super Hot. The overall concept of Super Hot blows my mind because the progression of time is affected by your movement. The reason why I like Open Hexagon so much is because it's open source and it's a good challenge, and I like to play the levels that people make. If I could tell every gamer in the world something, it would be to try out something new, because you'll probably enjoy it more than you think. I appreciate all of those who have listened to this. Please spread the word around. All you have to do is leave a like, subscribe, and share this to your friends, this very video. This is Metrono Ivernan, signing out. Bye-bye.